Guys, I'm Gus Dapperton, and this is Morbo Riot. Yo, I was just wearing Air Force Ones, like black. I think the thing I spend like the most money on is like shoes and like glasses. That's like what I don't really like spend that much money on clothes, but I buy a lot of shoes. The general story behind it, the title comes from this word called posthumous, which means after death. And my bassist actually made a joke one time saying like, I think there was like some blog that said this artist's posthumous album, and he's like more like posthumous. And it's supposed to be a pun for kind of like treating life and death like a joke. In the music video, at least, we try to relate that to like a comedian who, you know, goes around kind of treating his life like a joke. All the songs are kind of about this theme of like feeling lost and then having these people in your life that reel you back in and pull you out of that dark time. So yeah, that's the general thesis of it. I feel like I always have trouble describing my style in terms of like adjectives, but I don't know. I'm like addicted to changing my hair. I love dyeing my hair and changing my hair. And I love jewelry. And I like to wear a lot of my friends' clothes. If my friends make clothes, my friends make jewelry, I like to support them and wear a lot of their stuff. But yeah, I guess I like loose fitting clothes. I like oversized pants and shirts and stuff, and like cropped shirts and like cropped pants. Skateboarding for me was super helpful to everything that I did. Like the thing about skateboarding, like where I'm from, I grew up in a more rural town. Skateboarding at the time where I was from was one of the most inclusive, you know, things you could do. Like, you know, people from all different backgrounds and all different styles of skating, you know, would come together, and by default we were sort of naturally like outcasts because, you know, it was more of like a sporty town, like team sports, and I think by default we were more outcast. So like skateboarding really helped us. You know, I hope that people can remember the music that comes out during this quarantine time as something that stuck with them and helped them get through this isolation, this feeling of, you know, loneliness and whatnot. So I guess eventually I see music going back to sort of how it was, but I think, you know, people are not going to take it for granted and take like, you know, how like album cycles for granted, and like, you know, like we're just going to put out an album and do it really quick and move on to the next one. I think I just eventually I see it going back to normal, but I think people have a greater appreciation for like what they have in music, and I don't think anyone will take it for granted. You know, it's easier said than done, but I think my advice is like, although it's really inconvenient at the moment, you know, to express yourself and be yourself and everything, and be in this time of isolation where you feel like, you know, you're all alone and nothing's there and whatnot. I feel like you just have to embrace the inconveniences as tough as they are, and, you know, once you embrace those inconveniences, because you had this dark time, you'll be able to have a huge, you know, pleasurable time directly preceding it. So like, you know, in order to have like emotional highs, you have to have emotional lows, or else everything would just be in the middle. So I think at the end of the day, you just have to hope it's going to get better. And I think like art and music and everything provides a lot of that hope. Yeah.